Welcome again to another episode of Mystic Bee Spiritual Insights. I'm Anna Marie, and I'm happy that you're here. This is round two. So, for those of you that weren't able to join last week, thanks for being here. We're available live stream, podcast, and replay on lots of different platforms. So, we're glad for those that are able to join us live, but we just hope that the messages are receiving the intended recipients. So, we're going to stick with the format I discussed last week. We're going to have a basic intro. We're going to talk a little bit about numerology for a couple of minutes. We're going to take a couple of live calls because that's what this is really about. You guys love these free readings. And then I have some general messages for other audience members that we're going to talk about at the end. So, just generally speaking, I first want to say, Happy Lunar New Year. This is an exciting time. It's not only Lunar New Year, we have our new moon, we're coming into Aquarius, and we have the month of February just around the corner. So, numerologically, we're in a universal 9 year, but we bring in the 2 energy from February, and we actually end up with a master number 11. So, really, this is just a great time to think about stepping into your purpose. I would talk about just think of maybe getting a dream journal, paying attention to extra insights and messages that you're receiving. But this is just a wonderful time to just recognize what you're all about and look a little bit deeper for some insights into your purpose and calling. Pay attention to those dreams, those universal messages that are coming towards you, and just take the time to reflect. So, we're still in kind of winter weather, at least in the US. So, it's a good time. Pick up a journal, make some of those notes, and see what kind of insights that you can carry forward. So, we are going to take caller. Before I do that, I just want to again mention to those of you that may not get a live reading today, please don't be discouraged. There are amazing psychics in this network. Keep trying, come back next week. There are other calls this evening, third days of the week. So just pay attention to those Facebook feeds, stay up to date, get your name on the list, dial in, and we'll give it your best shot. But you can also reach out to mystic-b.com if you want a one-on-one reading, or certainly just tag me in Facebook, and we can go ahead and try to find some other options for you. So just don't stay encouraged. Everyone that's meant to get a reading will get a reading. So we are going to welcome Angela. She's in California. And so, Angela, are you with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Angela. I'm Anna Marie. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. We're happy that you're here. I do like to ask, are you interested in a general reading, or do you have a specific question that you wanted to focus on?
I wondered if you've got any messages from loved ones that have passed.
Okay. Um, let's see here. Just kind of give me a minute.
Sure.
I feel like you've got a few folks, but I think there's 2 in particular. Do you have both parents that have passed?
No.
Okay. Um, I'm getting a male and a female energy that are older than you. So, I don't know the relationship just yet. Let me just see if there's something specific. Um,
Okay.
it feels like there's some, well, and again, I just have to go with the energy that I'm getting. They're going to come through when they want to come through. Sometimes it's hit or miss, but it looks like someone's aware that you're in kind of a crossroads, or you're in limbo. Are you thinking about something or trying to make a decision about something?
Yes.
Okay. Um, I don't know if you have a child, like a daughter, but I'm getting younger female energy that your decision may be heavily weighted on the younger female energy. Does that make sense for you?
Um, if the younger female energy is myself,
Okay. No,
I don't.
that's
Yeah.
I mean, unless these are your parents that have passed, right? But I am just getting, and I think you said they have not passed, but I'm
They have
just
not.
getting that the energy that, and it may be, and not to justify and make all of this work. 'Cause if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense for you. But I don't know
Hmm.
if it's grandparents that are feeling that parental energy, but I do feel like there is the female child. So I don't know if your grandparents were close to you when you were being raised. But is this also about like a proposal or an agreement or a commitment that you're not sure about? Is that what you're deciding on?
No.
Okay.
It would be more towards like relationship with family members.
Okay. But it feels partnership. So I'm feeling, and again, whether it's romantic or not. So let me
Hmm.
rewind a little bit. So I'm getting
Okay.
older energy. Okay. I'm getting a male and a
Okay.
female. Are your grandparents passed?
Yes.
Okay. Um, I feel the younger energy of a female. So I know you said maybe it's you, but whomever it is or isn't involved in, I feel like there is a decision, and somehow there is a younger female that's influencing the decision. Is there
Oh,
someone younger than you that's a female that might be influencing the decision you're contemplating?
no, no,
Okay, so
not a female. No.
no niece, no daughter. And then what I get, the
No.
decision feels like, okay, that's okay. The decision feels like it's around partnerships and agreements. So partnerships, right, would also be relationships, but I'm not saying like relationship because that feels romantic. So it feels like it's around partnerships and agreements. Is your
Okay.
decision that you're trying to make around partnerships and agreements?
No.
Okay.
Well, it's hard to say. It's a matter of uh I guess going no contact with um a family member.
Okay.
And
And
it's pretty much
the
like,
family
yeah,
member,
it involves everybody. Yeah.
and there's no young female in this equation.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, that's okay. So they're all male family members.
Yes.
Okay. So I know you may want a message from the other side, but I'm going to have to stick with the energy that I'm
Sure.
getting. Okay. So,
Okay. Yeah.
and I feel you're very focused on this particular topic. So let's kind of pull back for just a moment and let's just see if we can get just some good insights for you, given the situation that you're in. So I do feel you at a crossroads about partnerships or agreements. Okay. So
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
whether it's family, and by the way, maybe it's not family members, right? So just think of partnerships and agreements where you're feeling indecisive. Could that be another area in your life, or is this only about family?
I would say the biggest thing is about family for sure.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's just drill in just on the family topic, but I want to be true to the original message that I'm getting for you. Okay,
Mhm.
your
Okay.
indecision about a partnership or agreement. It feels like there is female energy that is um, needs to be considered or is being considered around that decision. So if you have professional agreements, right, if you are having to negotiate something with someone about personal opportunity, okay, I just feel like the female energy needs to be considered when you're making that decision. The
Okay.
decision itself, and again, I don't know what the topic is, but I feel like the decision itself, you may be better off walking away from that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to set that aside. And then I want to talk about just your family situation. So we're going to turn this into, if you have a question, right? Let's just ask the question specifically about your family. So it sounds like you don't have to give me all the details, but there's a family
Sure.
circumstance, right? There's a family circumstance that you're not sure about, is part of what I'm getting, correct?
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And that's kind of where I was hoping to get, guidance from, past loved ones and what their insight about this situation might be, or that's where I was kind of going with it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, here's the challenge. I mean, You may or may not get information, okay, coming through
Hmm.
from the other side, but you're still getting insights from other sources of energy, right? I consider it divine love,
Okay.
God, the universe. So you may not get
Sure.
it from who you're thinking, but I want you to just remember the spirit of what I said in the female energy, because I still think that's really relevant in your life, even if you're hyper focused on your family stuff. So
Hmm.
let's just think about the family, and it sounds like you're trying to figure out what to do. Is that right?
Correct. Or if what I'm doing is the right thing. Yes.
Okay. So um, here's what I'm going to say about this. So I feel like um, dad is the huge focus or energy. Would you say that's true? Is that predominantly this is about pleasing dad?
Uh, yes. I would say that's yes.
Because it feels like this is all about dad, and he feels like the control freak, and he is going to call the shots. So be mindful of that. It feels like
Okay.
it feels like it's money related. It's about who's entitled to what. So I don't know if this is inheritance, but it feels like it could relate to property or money that you would get at some point if you were to pass away. Does that make sense for you?
Um, actually, it wouldn't be his belongings, but yes, his he's associated with someone who does have those things, and I am
Yeah.
concerned that another family member would take advantage. Yes, correct.
So I get the woman, right, that has an opportunity for income, and I don't want to say
Mhm.
being a kept woman, but this feels like a kept woman, okay? But it feels like it's something that's supposed to pass to you. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. Sure.
It almost feels like there's some, and I don't want to use the inheritance because I feel like it's a little bit more nuanced than that. But the long and the short of it, I feel like dad's calling the shots. I definitely feel like there is money, opportunity, investment, something of value that affects you, right? He's calling the shots, but someone definitely doesn't want to miss out on their own opportunity. But this feels all about money to me. Um, it just feels money and property, money and possessions. It just feels like someone is disputing over money. Is that the circumstance?
Um, no, not exactly. It has everything to do with my mom, actually,
Okay.
and not
And
him.
so,
Yeah.
okay, so if something were going on with your mom, and if we'll just say, would something of your mother's pass to you or pass to your father?
Uh,
Feel like we're and it's okay. I mean, I can be totally off the mark this evening. I
y-
feel like there's a lot of details that you're holding on to, which is fine. I just don't want you to miss the big picture here, okay? Because
yes,
I want to get past the
for sure,
details, and I want to get to the insight. So number 1,
sure.
dad is the problem. Okay, I'm just going to say that. Dad is the problem. Dad feels like he's the stubborn one, he's the controlling one, and he's the one calling the shots. So we just need to own that part. True?
Oh, well, if you put it in the reverse, if it that's more my mom. She's the one that's the stubborn one and the control freak and all that. That's
Okay.
her, which is the reason for me wanting to go no contact with her.
Okay. So it sounds like
Mhm.
there's a lot going on here. I get dad stuff. So maybe this is dad is not. Maybe if she's controlling in the way that you say, this may be a
Mhm.
situation where maybe dad is not asserting himself. But I feel like dad is the problem. So if dad is the problem to me energetically, then that is he's not asserting himself, right, and correcting her, or he's not intervening maybe in the way that he should over whatever this is. But I still can't help but feel like there is a money conflict here. This isn't just emotional conflict. This is something about someone wanting what someone else has or someone feeling entitled. So, um, my if we look at the original information about the agreements and the partnerships, right? And we kind of tie that
Mhm.
in. remember the last thing I said is walking away,
Yes.
right? The best thing to
Yes.
do
Yes.
is to walk away.
Mhm.
So it sounds like you
Mhm.
already have that inclination. Okay. So if we said you're indecision about a partnership, so if the partnership is even with your mother, and the energy that
Mhm.
I'm getting is dad, right? And also some sort of controlling element, it does, again, it feels entitled, money, possession sort of feeling. So I don't know what you're disputing with your mother about, but it feels like
Mhm.
it's beyond emotional. So I'm going to say, regardless of where the insight's coming from, this time, right? I think your instinct is right. You need to pull away until
Okay.
your dad, okay, until your dad, because this is the issue, is your dad, I'm going to say it again, your dad is the problem. So he is either not intervening, he is not holding her accountable. Do you see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
He's the problem. Like
Yeah.
he he could bring resolution to this. Do you agree?
Um, I doubt that. I really they're divorced for like almost 30 years. So they don't have any contact whatsoever in the past 30 years. So I don't think
So is
that
she
he would be able to have any influence on her.
that's okay.
Yeah.
So is there another father figure that is your mom remarried and someone that feels like a stepdad to you?
Yes. And he's
Okay.
horrible. Yes.
Okay. So if we change the
He's
players,
the
right?
reason.
And I
Maybe
say,
that's what you're getting. Maybe that's what you're getting
there
because
we go.
he is
There we
actually
go.
the one
Okay.
that
There
is,
we go.
yeah, that can intervene and change things. Maybe that's where you're
There.
getting that energy from.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I say dad. So whether it's stepdad or dad, right? I'm
Okay.
getting
Okay.
the father figure. So now does it make more sense? He's the problem.
It makes
He could
yes.
intervene. Is this making sense
Well,
for you?
yes, he's the actual one that's the problem, and my
No,
mom is
okay, and
kind
that's
of
what
the
yeah, okay.
middle.
So
Yes.
now that we're
Mhm.
on the same page, right? I want to be mindful because I know our time is short here. So I
Yeah.
want to summarize this for you so you hopefully have something meaningful. So we've got it sorted
Okay.
out. It's not dad, it's stepdad, right? He's the
Right.
problem. He's the problem. He's the control with regard to your mother. Okay. There's
Yes.
the
Uh huh.
indecision that you have about the partnerships and the agreements that, again, there's female energy that I get about that decision. So I don't know if that female energy, maybe it's the juvenile nature of what your mom's doing, but I still feel the younger female energy. But the key there was it would be best to walk away. Okay. So that's the first part of it.
Got it.
The second part of it is
Okay.
that walking away until the father figure, right, even the stepdad, starts to
Mhm.
intervene and help resolve this, it's not going to be resolved. Okay. So
Got it. Okay.
there is a lesson for you in this about the dynamics between the two of them. And I really think this is about boundaries for you. But I think it sounds like it's starting to click in a little bit that it's stepdad, not dad, right?
Mhm. For sure.
Okay. Okay. So he's the issue. She probably is not, she feels a little entitled to me. Think that there is something that is supposed to pass to you, and this is more than an emotional issue. But I think we need to take that first pass and say, the smart thing for you to do is where you were intuitively, would just, you need to walk away for a time, right?
Mhm.
Until he
Yeah.
steps up and they can resolve some of this. Does that help a little bit now that we kind of got that part sorted out?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. And I just want to say, don't overlook also, I think that there's another sort of agreement or partnership in your life that is not related to your mother. Okay. And look,
Okay.
just
Okay.
just think when that comes up and you have another decision to make, just be mindful of the younger female.
So the younger female is related to me or
I
just
don't
somebody?
know that. Yeah, it's just
Okay.
a younger female. It feels like it could be a niece or it could be someone else's daughter. But just when that circumstance comes up before you decide, just consider the younger female before you make your decision. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
I'm sorry for all the confusion up front, Sandy, but I hope you're getting some insights. Hang in there. I know family dynamics can be really difficult, but hopefully now you have a little bit more of a sense on what's going on with the stepdad. And I really do
Mhm.
hope in the end that not only you respect boundaries for yourself, but I hope that you and your family can find some peace and harmony.
Sure. Thank you so very much for everything.
You're very welcome. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Hi, Sandy from Colorado.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good now that I've untangled all this yarn that I've fastened around my feet.
Oh no.
Um, is there a particular question that you would like to ask? Or are you interested in something more like a general reading?
I'm just really struggling in my life and
Okay.
not knowing what to do.
Okay. Maybe we should start a little general. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Now I know sometimes we get short on time, so please forgive me if for some reason we get a little deeper than intended. Um,
Hmm.
I will try to give as much insight as I can right now. um,
Okay.
so it feels, I would just say energetically, it feels like historically you've had things pretty well. Just like emotionally, you feel more balanced. I think you feel seen, more social things generally seem to be going okay historically. Um, but it feels like there's something just emotionally, like you're feeling more isolated or detached. Does that make sense for you?
Um, I don't know. I'm really struggling with like finding a job and
Okay.
spiritual things.
Okay. Well, that's what I mean. So historically, right, if we talk about things used to be okay, great, true?
Yeah,
Like,
used to be, yes.
okay, okay. I'm trying to just line up the energy. So historically, you're just
Okay.
accustomed to things being okay, right? Normal, happy life. But what I'm feeling right now is isolation. So we haven't talked about why you're feeling isolated, but I feel that you are
Mhm.
isolated or distant or detached from something. We'll talk about the job stuff in a minute, but is that where you are
Okay.
energetically?
Um, yes.
Okay. Um, did you I don't want to say. Um, I don't know where the emotional connection is, but it almost feels like there was like a falling out, either with an employer that you quit or left, or there's someone that you worked with that you knew that there was a falling out that made you quit your job or leave your job. Does any of that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It was a very toxic
So
job that I left.
Okay. So it feels like just energetically, right, that the
Mhm.
circumstances that led you to not working right now were emotionally not good. You just said the toxic, but I feel like there's a person there. I don't know if you're still
Yes.
ruminating over this, but it feels like you know them or you run into them, but that is something that still you're not over. Is that true?
That's true.
Okay. And the reason why I think this is coming up, because I feel like this is an energetic block for you. And if you are looking for a job or you're trying to put your best foot forward into getting new employment, you've got to address this emotional feeling that you have with this person. I feel like it's a woman. Is it a woman that was your
Yes.
friend at one point?
Um, no, we weren't friends. They were two women,
Okay.
actually.
Okay. Okay. So here's what I want to give some advice, and we'll talk a little bit about the job stuff. Um,
Hmm.
Big picture, just when I was talking about we're coming into February, it's a lunar new year. I'm going to tell you find a piece of paper, write down all the
Okay.
things that you're feeling that were toxic, okay, about the job. I just want you to write it down,
Hmm.
get it out of your system, and find a place to bury it or burn it safely without setting off a smoke alarm. Can you put that as
Okay.
an item on your to-do list?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to deal with and I want you to recognize and own that energy. And I want you to try to put that behind you. It feels like
Okay.
there are some finances that are a bit of a struggle right now, but you're going to get through it. You're just going to have to pinch some pennies, right? Have you thought
Okay.
about going back to school? Is there something you've thought
Um,
about going back to school?
no, I feel
Okay.
like I'm too old, and I I never liked school, so
So
I
you're
not
So
really.
I will say this, you're never too old, but here's what I see is I I see you learning something. I feel you examining some options, and I feel like you need
Mhm.
to put yourself out there for something that you might have to learn from scratch. Okay. So if you are trying
Mhm.
to stay in the same lane, I think you are eliminating a lot of possibilities for yourself. So I want to encourage you
Mhm.
to think about sort of your younger self. What are some of the things that you enjoyed? What did you like studying in school? What are some of those passions or curiosities that you have? Because I feel like there's a whole
Mhm.
arena of employment available to you, but you're just not willing to look at it because you're not an expert. Does that make sense?
Mm. Yes.
Have you worked in the service industry or hospitality at all?
Um, it was retail that I was in that was toxic, and then
Okay. But
I did find like a hospitality job, and they let me go from that just today.
okay. Okay. Because I feel like you are going to hospitality. This feels like a hotel. I just feel like it feels like bigger hotel. I feel like there's some reason I feel like you've been doing things on a too small of a scale. So don't be
Uh-huh.
discouraged because I think you're in the right arena. I think hospitality is the key, but I feel like you're supposed to look at a Marriott or something. It just
Mhm.
feels like a bigger chain. Um,
Mhm.
I want you to look at that possibility, but I also want you to, in that hospitality area, if there's something that you're curious about, don't not apply because you've never done it before. Because I feel like there's something you're just going to have to learn from scratch, but you're going to do really well. So you just lost your job today, you said, right?
Yes,
Okay.
and it was a
So here's what,
hospitality one.
okay. Stick in hospitality is what I'm getting. And here's what I'm going to tell you,
Okay.
and we're going to have to wrap up. But here's what I'm going to tell you. It's not even been 24 hours, my darling. So please
Mhm.
stay encouraged, keep the faith, take a big, deep breath, right? You've got a brand new beginning. Give yourself a couple of
Mhm.
days to just breathe in and out, gather your thoughts, and go after some hospitality opportunities on Monday. And feel
Mhm.
free to you can reach out to me. I also have done a lot of career coaching. I would love to help you just kind of get this journey started. So just reach out to me on
Mhm.
mystic-me.com. Doesn't cost anything. I'd be happy to help you with those next steps.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You take care. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. So everyone, we're down to the wire. As you can see, a couple of these readings, sometimes we get a little tangled and twisted. It's just a reminder we come in sometimes feeling really hyper focused. We have a specific thing or specific people. We just need to come in with an open mind, open hearts. We do our very best to be as accurate as possible. But just thank you again for joining us. Try again next week. Connect with me, connect with our other psychics on the network, and we'll see you next Thursday.